Today, most states in Nigeria experience gubernatorial elections, and watchers of Nigerian politics have raised concerns over the low turnout of voters at the polling units. Today's Flip TV's Vox Pop, we shall be looking at the reasons behind the low turnout of voters at the polling stations. Come along with me as I reach out to people. I'll be right back. To know your own take on the turnout of people. I'm talking about turnout of electorates in this governorship election and that of presidential. Can you compare the two?
Okay, well, the turnout in the estate is quite low. Unlike last 2 weeks where we have a lot of people that came out. We don't know why. But well, for the INEC people, they did very well. It is well organized. Yeah, and then the election here is very peaceful, as you can see.
Was there what of the security measures being put in place?
It's okay to make sure that there is nothing. The estate is always peaceful, you know, and we have our gates locked. And then, you know, for everybody that comes in, we serve them drinks, serve them food, so they are comfortable. There's no room. It's not a kind of estate that where you see people fighting or struggling for anything. So for the fact that we have our security and we have the gates always locked, you know, hooligans can't come in and start to misbehave. And for the fact that anybody that comes in is comfortable, we give them food, we give them everything. For that, nobody will come and misbehave.
It's going on smoothly. There is no problem. We vote for the person we want and know that the person is winning already.
How was the turnout?
Everybody.
Came out?
They came out from my area.
What kind of area is that?
Vote in Okera. That's Ogba.
People came out en masse to vote?
They came out very well and vote. Yes.
And there was peace?
Yes, no problem.
If there is voter apathy, I think it's expected. Because I look at the event of the last election.
That's
presidential election. I look at the role the security agencies played. I look at the feelings of the people after the election. I may not have an informed opinion to actually judge whether people who decided not to vote were right by their own understanding of what the result, the outcome of the result of the presidential election. What I can understand is this: a good number of electorates felt that, especially because from what I can see on so many social media platforms, in some areas in the South, specifically South, even before now, I knew that we were going to be voter apathy. Because the way the area was militarized, even before the election, it shows that it will scare people from coming out to vote. Some persons might have the feeling that, after all, there are some people who came out to exercise their franchise on the 23rd of last month, whose only sin was coming out to vote, and eventually, whether by way of stray bullet, somebody was killed. It's not because they are major target of anybody, but because any unforeseen circumstance could lead to their death. And I don't know how true. I've listened to Bayelsa State Governor accusing the military of turning against the citizens. I don't know how to the extent to which he's correct, but judging by his assertions, it is unlikely that if somebody who is at the helm of affairs speaks like that, it's unlikely that people will have confidence to come and exercise their franchise. Because if the people who are supposed to protect the citizens are the same people who are turning the arms given to them as against the citizens, it's a worrisome situation. But I don't know the veracity to his claim, whether it's correct or not. Having said that, in Lagos specifically, there are some areas where election did not hold on the 23rd of last month. And the reason was not far-fetched. We understand some hoodlums came attacking electorates, snatching ballot boxes, destroying the electoral process. And I can specifically say that some, like one senatorial district and some House of Rep positions were declared inconclusive in Lagos State here. And thereafter, we saw events that followed, which was not palatable. I'm a nationalist. I don't like saying things that will stir up division. But I think whoever wins election in Lagos State have a responsibility to make everybody have sense of belonging. Because I listened to somebody who was speaking from Okota area today on China's platform. And he was talking about that the reasons they may not vote for a particular party is not because of tribal issue. That the area have been neglected by successive governments in this Lagos State. So I think this should be an advice to whoever wins Lagos State. I know it's an APC state. I know it's difficult to take it from APC. But whoever wins, let the person look beyond the immediate cause of that election of 23rd and look at the root cause. If there are things they need to, if they disconnected from the people in those areas, they should look for a way of reconnecting with them by way of enhancing developmental projects. If what those people are seeing in other parts of Lagos State are not being replicated in their neighborhood, and the government presence is not felt in their area, in the environment, I think the government should have a responsibility to rekindle that hope. Because election will always come. And I want to see a Nigeria where, irrespective of where you hail from, irrespective of your state of origin, going by what the Constitution says, that if you are staying in an area for a specific number of years, that you are eligible, entitled legally to contest election. I want to see a Nigeria where that right will not be jeopardized by any interest. Then looking at, because I still saw what happened in Abuja on some social media platform, newspaper platform about voter apathy. That in itself, from what I can understand and what I read, many people felt because their candidates did not win. They lost confidence in the system. They may not be right. Their candidate may not be popular enough to win overall the vote across the whole country. Their candidate may win in some specific areas where they have enough support. Then I still look at some people who still have the apprehension about the military, the police, the DSS, generally speaking, the government security agencies. That I will ask the government that if need be, though the Constitution has defined the role of each and every security agency, let them play by the rule. Then there is one thing I have to say about the electoral process. Because personally, I'm not satisfied with the way and manner Mr. President refused to sign the electoral bill, the amended electoral bill. I was made to understand he declined assent for 4 consecutive times. And each time he want to decline assent, he waits for the period allowed by law to elapse. So I see a president who was actually buying time, who didn't want that electoral reform. Perhaps because of apprehension, he don't know whether those things will work against him. I want to advise him now, advise Mr. President now that he has won an election, let him be man enough, let him be courageous enough, let him exercise that statesmanship enough to encourage electoral reform. Like I said earlier, election will always come in Nigeria. We are not ending the election today. So that if there is actual reform in our electoral system, and we get to a level where we can have a proper electronic voting, this issue of ballot snatching, stuffing, and what have you will end. Because the technology has gone far. I see in Nigeria where you slot in your PVC into a device, it displays all the candidates, you thumbprint, and you are good to go. And there is a database where observers, all the party agents, all the stakeholders have access to the data as it's coming. Of course, in 2023, if Mr. President is a patriot, I advise him to encourage the electoral reform that will earn us such achievement before that election.
Unlike the other ones, if anything is to go by what we had from other polling, booths or stations around, we learned that it was peaceful. It was peaceful. But then it is, as we normally say, we can't say it is a kind of a perfect election today. But when you look around, from my own personal observation, I found out that there was a low turnout. You understand? And that could be due to so many factors. Maybe they fear that some people might be thinking that maybe their own votes is not going to be counted. You understand? Or in one way or the other, they might be disenfranchised, as it has been done, before now. Maybe card reader not reading their cards, or in other way, one way or the other. Maybe the electoral officials are not coming to maybe they are not going to be at the polling booth as earlier as possible, or they might, they might be there that they purposely disenfranchise them. Maybe they say that this polling booth happen to belong to other an opposing candidate. You understand? Therefore, the election material were just intentionally not being brought there. And in addition, I'm talking about the security purpose. The people were waiting to hear. I hope all is well over there before they begin to turn out. With what I gathered, that the people were started coming out around maybe after 12, around 1 p.m. and all those things of this stuff. Even myself, that was around the time I came out. I went to my own polling booth. But we can see that it was better. But it's a great concern to see the low turnout. Those are the kind of things, those things that actually cause such a thing. But it's not. But it's not okay. Are we talking about people are not having awareness, or is it because of intimidation? So, to me, it's a great concern, because voting is a civic responsibility of anybody who is 18 years and above in Nigeria. You understand? So I think in subsequent election, the INEC, the government of the day, should always provide a conducive environment for election to take place. Even you must have heard earlier. I've already have the premonition of this. I don't want to carry any kind of prejudice or prejudgment. You understand? You see, using the previous election, what actually happened. Even the officers, the electoral officers themselves, look at what they complain about. Look at what actually happened. I'm talking about even the inner circle, not paying their money and their stipends and everything. And they are resorting to the fact that they might run away if they don't allow them to. I see it as a kind of, to me, you are sending a child into a school without pen and pencil. What's going to happen? You are sending a farmer into a farm without cutlass or hoe or basic material. What's going to happen there? So please, but, well, to a certain extent, we can't say it's a perfect, but at least it's better.
Thank you so much for watching us on today's segment of Vox Pop on Flip TV. Join me next time as we bring you another interesting topic. I'm Michael Adekunle. Have a good day.